This week's news was made possible by a bunch of Patreon supporters. This week, the planet is still straight up not having a good time with non-profit organization What Time using a network of satellites to detect greenhouse gas emissions. The project, backed by Google, planned to use the resulting data both to hold polluting plants accountable to environmental standards as well as to enable further emission reducing technology. With this being said, there are also a number of positive stories this week, with Chile reaching their clean energy target 6 years ahead of schedule, India harnessing the power of the sun, and over 13,000 climate protests are planned to be carried out this Friday. Moving on, a woman grinds her way to 100 sneak. A petition is started to stop Japanese schools from dyeing students' hair, and a member of the European Parliament hides from people armed with milkshakes. American writer Anand Giridharadas has suggested in a recent podcast that billionaires have been able to bribe society as a whole and ultimately have too much control over which issues are tackled. The Time magazine editor-at-large makes the case that billionaires dictate which not-for-profit organizations are funded, and as a result, these organizations are usually obliged to not talk about them in a negative light. This is only a very simplified version of the discussion, as the entire podcast is around an hour. Those who want to listen to it in full can find a link in the description. In technology, self-driving trucks will deliver mail, the South Korean government will be run on Linux, and a US senator has suggested that people don't like being spied on. In gaming, Ubisoft reportedly have a premium pass in development. The World Health Organization classifies game addiction as a mental health disorder. The infamous series is now 10 years old, and E3 is only 2 weeks away. In entertainment, it has been reported that Marvel is done with the Avengers movies, with Endgame supposedly wrapping up the storyline to make way for new characters. This comes after Disney has announced that it will pull all of its content from Netflix to its new streaming platform, Disney+. The newly announced series, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, will reportedly be an upcoming exclusive for the service, set to go live later this year. Meanwhile, John Wick 4 is confirmed. The final episode of Game of Thrones has nearly 20 million viewers, and the Just Cause series is getting a movie adoption. In other news, Alabama is still being a meme, and you can now legally use grandma to grow tomatoes in Washington. This has been this week's news without the bullshit. Unfortunately, there's no sponsor this week, but viewers can support the channel with the Patreon link in the description. There have now been 20 previous news videos this year, and because of YouTube's fun and exciting policies, 40% of them have been demonetized. Supporters who contribute can gain access to a number of exclusive videos, a fancy title on the Scrub Hub Discord server, and some of the more premium rewards, like changing my profile picture for a day. The last guy changed it to a picture of furry Fernando, and there was even a sensational decrease in subscribers shortly afterwards. To those who are still around, thanks again for your continued support, and until next time, embrace the bullshit.
Crashing through the sandbar, talking by the campfire. It's the simple things in life like